Hello, everyone, and welcome to ScoreVision Advantage, a podcast where we share the latest happenings in sports tech and fan engagement. I am your host, Ashley Peterson, Marketing Director here at ScoreVision. Today is one of our Tech Talk episodes. It's an exciting one for you all as we have a very special guest with us, Chris Kirn from Digital Scoreboards. And normally this is hosted by our Director of Technology, but we just decided to do something a little bit fun and different. We're going to be talking about mobile trailers. And yes, I did say mobile. So I think first things first, Chris, I am going to have you kind of reintroduce yourself. Hopefully our guests listened to our prior episode, but in case they don't, tell us a little bit about you.
You bet. So thanks for having me first and foremost. It's great to be here. My name is Chris Kirn. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Digital Scoreboards. We are a full-scale, full matrix, turnkey digital scoreboard company, kind of firmly placed in the high school to small college market. That's kind of our focus for all of our product. And a great partner of ScoreVision.
Yeah. So this is the most exciting topic we've had in a while because I love the mobile trailer. I got the greatest experience with it when I went with you guys, somebody from your company, to go and do a demo. And I was amazed by it. And I could tell that the people we were demoing for were also like, wow, this is crazy. So I think first things first, I want to know, is this like the best solution that Digital Scoreboards has that nobody else has, or does somebody else sell mobile trailers?
Yeah, so our partner in the trailer space is Insane Impact. They are an 85 plus market share in the whole entire continental United States on portable LED. So they've been in this space for a long time. They've perfected it. Their engineering and technology side is kind of really second to none. And so, yeah, I would say in the scoring space or in the digital scoreboard space, right now between us and Insane, we're the only company that really has a product of this depth.
Yeah.
And this amount of offering.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you can't miss it when you're driving down the interstate.
The looks that I get pulling this thing behind my truck are pretty interesting.
What is that? What does it do? Because it's obviously not on, but it's even fun just having it in our parking lot. So that's always exciting. Okay, so I guess how big is the one that we have out today, which we will go and see in a little while? First off, how big is that one?
So that screen is 9.5 feet tall and 16 feet wide.
Okay.
So and it's in 6.6 millimeters, so high, a higher resolution outdoor rated product. We do have some schools putting 6 millimeter up, like in football and baseball stadiums and such. And we offer our trailers in two resolutions, 6.6 and 4.8. So the one you have that you'll see today is kind of our everyday offering, and then you have like the next step up, which is the 4.8 millimeter.
Okay, and what about different sizes?
So really, Insane Impact has done a fantastic job with their portfolio offering. So we've kind of simplified the game. It's ever evolving, so I'm going to tell you what the sizes are today and check back in 30 days, and you'll see there's something new offered. But so I would say 7 foot tall by 12 foot wide is our smaller screen. Then we step up to this 9.5 by 16. Then you step up to a 13 feet tall by 23 foot wide. And then there's a couple other, sizes that are close. We have a 10 foot by 17 foot that's in a 4 millimeter. So just to hit some different applications like, production companies, rental companies, some things that need even that higher resolution. But especially in the sports space, the 6.6, as you'll see here shortly, is a spot on product for anything a school would want to do.
Yeah, it definitely has a better resolution than a lot of different LEDs that I've seen that, some of the older schools have for outdoor. So 6.6 seems pretty great. I think the industry standard is usually 10 for outdoor, right?
That's what our go-to-market strategy is. We'll do 100-ish, 60 to 70 outdoor projects this year alone, and every one of those will be 10 millimeter with the exception of a few that will be 6.
Okay. So what's the best use case for something like this? Most people have an outdoor LED in their facility, but there are times where they don't. Or I know that there has been times where the LED has been used when somebody's other product has gone down, and so therefore we came and rescued the day. But what is the best use case for this product?
When I sit down and talk to a superintendent, an athletic director, a coach, whatever, and we start talking portable, there's a lot of different ways of looking at this. So if you're, for example, in California, it's very difficult if you're a public school in California to go through what they call DSA, or Department of State Architects, to get everything approved. And so a school, on average, can buy an outdoor digital scoreboard for any of their venues, and they're looking at upwards of a year to get engineering done and construction, installation, everything else, because of all of the steps they have to go through in the state. They can buy a trailer. It doesn't require power. It doesn't require fiber to the press box. There's no permitting. They can buy it, and 12 weeks later, they have a fully operational scoreboard on whatever venue or stadium that they want. So in the case of California, it makes a lot of sense for any venue. You start looking at some of the other, schools and other places around the country, they want a fixed installation on their football stadium or in their gymnasium. But when you start thinking about how many student athletes are you not touching that don't play football or soccer or field hockey or lacrosse, think about baseball, softball, cross country, track, golf, different events that happen maybe on campus or even off campus. Now they have a fully operational scoreboard, advertising vehicle, video, movie nights, video game fundraisers. They put out in front of school to direct traffic, or upcoming events at the school, whatever. Now it's a messaging vehicle as well. So the flexibility that it offers to a school is really limitless.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I never would have even thought about that, to be honest. Like, I think I've always looked at it as a vehicle for sports and for entertainment in that direction, but really the school can use it for so much more than that. And I think using it for community events that aren't even necessarily on your campus is a great way to get your advertisers more exposure too.
Yeah, it really is. So there's a school, it's actually one of our mutual customers. It's Notre Dame Regional High School in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. They called me about 6 or 8 weeks ago and said, hey, is there any way that you would rent us your trailer? Because I keep one at my office here outside of St. Louis to do demos and show schools our product. But they're like, can we rent it for you for 30 days? And I'm like, well, first of all, you're a great customer. I'll bring it to you, let you guys use it, try it, demo it, whatever. They parked it out in front of school and used it for a 30-day capital campaign.
Wow.
They were putting donors up there, announcements. They raised $331,000 in 10 days, and they had a video trailer out in front of the school.
That is so smart. Coming from a person who has had to, so in my former life, I was an architect. Okay. And so I helped a lot with capital campaigns for a lot of schools, and I never would have thought about that, but what a great use for that. If we have listeners on here who are getting ready for a big project, you should heavily consider that. Okay, so you just mentioned that somebody did actually try to rent the trailer, and that was part of my next question is, can you rent this thing? Can you lease it? How much time advance do you need to know before they're able to do that? What are the options?
Yeah, so the beauty with Insane Impact is they have their portable rental division as well. So they've got roughly about 330 or so trailers that they've manufactured and sold around the country to people like us. So if a school wants to rent a trailer, they absolutely can do that. They call in Insane Impact or Digital Scoreboards, either one. We're two in the same. And then where's the school located? What are their dates they're needing a unit? Does it need to be for scoring or not? Because that'll dictate what software is on the trailer and who can, what trailer should be sent in for that school project.
Yeah.
And then we'll just coordinate it accordingly. They only deal with us. We coordinate the trailer. We take care of the insurance. They just pay a one-time rental fee for however many days they need to use it, and we supply the trailer for their event.
How much in advance do they need to know, or do they need to be calling you?
I mean, as much as possible, obviously, it would be nice. But, we've had requests as much as a week away and been able to deliver. We run some concerts. We run some 5Ks. A lot of those different kind of events around the country, they'll call and say, hey, can we rent a trailer for the weekend? Mm-hmm. And then, sometimes can they run it, or are they going to need staff there to operate the trailer during the event? That also dictates how much lead time we need.
Yeah. And then do you guys help them find staff members?
We do. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll either supply the staff members or we'll train somebody to do it. A lot of times they'll just put a loop on there and just let the loop run for the event. If it's scoring, as you know, we're having this conversation here at ScoreVision corporate office, but all of our trailers in-house have a ScoreVision control rack on them. So when we pull up in front of a school, we turn the trailer on. You can have a trailer operational in 5 minutes, and then you hand them iPads, and they're ready to score games, no matter what sport they're playing on that venue.
Yeah. So for the ScoreVision component and for scoring, are you still able to then personalize the content on the scoreboard for that school?
You know, it's first of all, yes, you can. It's a little bit. That's why we need some advance notice because our art staff needs to be able to build some content, put it into the cloud, have it ready for them to run a game. We ran a soccer game 2 weeks ago at Charlotte Catholic in North Carolina. We were in the area. One of your reps is an alum. Our trailer was close, and he's like, "Hey, would you mind bringing the trailer over and running an event for the school tonight?" And we happily obliged. And our art staff created, Charlotte Catholic branded graphics within an afternoon, and we were ready to run a game that night.
Yeah, that's so cool. I think that's a great option for schools who are even kind of in that deciding phase, right? Of how much is this really worth it? I mean, if you get to experience it firsthand of just being able to see it for a demo or whatever, it makes it way easier for you to understand it.
Yeah, the flexibility in these trailers are pretty incredible. We've got a customer in Northern California. It's a private all-boys Catholic high school that they were faced with a tough decision. Their football soccer field is right next to their baseball field, and they kind of adjoin each other. And when they originally called, they said, "Hey, what would it cost us to put a couple beams in the ground and put a digital on both sides of the beam?" So you had a scoreboard facing baseball and a scoreboard facing the football soccer field. We gave them the price. We knew it was probably going to scare them away. And so through that conversation, kind of going back to our last podcast, whenever I talked about us being consultants and advisors and what have you, I just said, "Hey, Rob, what about a trailer solution?" He's like, "What are you talking about? I've never seen one of those." So I sent him a video of one in operation because these trailers raise up, 20 feet off the ground. They rotate 360 degrees. They got full sound systems on them. And so we parked it they bought one, the exact trailer we have out here on display that we'll look at in a little bit. Palma High School bought that trailer, parked it between their two fields. They put a fence around it, and it was half the price of doing what they wanted to do originally, and now they can score all of those games that happen on both of those venues because they just rotate the screen.
I was just going to ask that question about cost, and you clearly just answered it on, is it more expensive or less expensive than if I did it fixed? Obviously, I'm going to assume it's less.
It depends on the size of the fixed install, right? So I would say our trailers on average, depending on what package, because we have a flatbed trailer, which is what you're going to see in a minute. We also have an enclosed trailer, which think about a van trailer where the screen lowers inside of a aluminum box and then it raises up out of it. Those are certainly a little bit more expensive. But, based on the three different sizes, I would say our most popular package is the one you're going to see here in a few minutes. That's what we sell the most of. The 7x12s are very nice, but they're certainly on the smaller side, more for parks and recreation and some of those type of customers. And then the 23x13, so 23 wide by 13 foot tall, that's kind of like the Cadillac. That's the, kind of the best of the best, if you will. We build that on a flatbed and enclosed. And we do have some schools starting to look at those because the cost basis is substantially less than a fixed install. I've got a school in California right now that we quoted a 13x23 fixed and a 13x23 trailer. By the time they went through DSA, had to run power, had to run fiber, engineering, construction, install, they would save about $150,000 by buying the trailer package.
Wow. Okay. Well, this thing is awesome. Should we go ahead and go check it out, and then we can kind of show people how it works?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Perfect. All right. Well, we are out here at ScoreVision headquarters with the large LED trailer that lovely Chris has brought for us today. So Chris, remind me again, what size is this LED?
Yeah, so the screen is 9 foot 6 inches tall, 16 feet wide, and a pretty incredible 6mm product.
Yeah, it looks great. It's phenomenal out here, and on a bright sunny day too, which is awesome. All right, so tell us a little bit about the trailer. Exactly what components are required to operate this thing? How does it kind of work and run? And does it have audio? I know people are going to want to know that too.
Yeah, for sure. So it's a 100% self-contained package. So no power needed, no fiber needed. Everything's included in the package. So Obviously 9.5 by 16-foot screen, 6 millimeter. On the trailer, you got a full quiet diesel generator. You might hear a little bit of humming right now coming out of that. That's powering the whole control pack. You've got a control rack with ScoreVision software and a full robust EV sound system on it as well. So this thing really thumps. And what's really nice about these is they raise up in the air 20 feet to the top of the screen, and it rotates 360 degrees. So no matter where you park this thing, you're going to give yourself like uninterrupted viewing.
Wow, that's awesome. So, and I'm assuming the hydraulics are just on the back end, shoots up, like you said, 20 feet?
Yeah, there's a remote control in the back. So you just hit the remote control, it raises up. So the screen's 9.5 feet tall. It goes 10 feet from the ground to the bottom of the screen. So roughly almost 20 feet above grade to the top of the screen, and just right at 10 feet to the bottom.
What about networking and routing?
So everything is included in the package. So this unit has full internet on it. So there's a T-Mobile hotspot that runs this whole entire system. It integrates perfectly with the ScoreVision system. So you can set this trailer up in about 5 to 7 minutes.
Wow.
You hit a couple buttons, turn the generator on, and then you're off to the races. Turn the control rack on, and then you're controlling everything off iPads.
Really cool. Well, why don't we go ahead and just kind of give a little bit of a demo of how this works.
In here is all your electrical components, all your breakers. So all 6 of those breakers power everything that happens on this trailer. So that's the first step in the process. After you flip those on, you come here and you turn the generator on. That is what powers the electrical panel, and the whole entire trailer setup is powered by this generator. After that, you come to the control rack. As you can see, super clean, nice, professional rack. Everything you have in here, you got a Mac computer, you got your internet, you got your switches, you got a sound system, you got the ScoreVision system. We always save or house our iPads in here. So that way, whenever you set it up, it's ready to go. After that's done, you're ready to go. Obviously, if you want to drop the outriggers, if you want to level it, whatever else you can. The last step, which is what everybody loves, is when it's time to go to showtime. Bring out your handheld remote control. This is where it raises. So you raise and lower it this way, and then there's a manual rotation on top where you just step on a pin and you can spin the whole trailer.
So it takes about 2 iPads to be able to run the system entirely between game and then production, one of which runs Producer app, which is our production app. So when you're in here, you have a series of different layouts that you can choose from that you can shift when you start the game. Then you can also upload your content and do direct load and choose whatever you prefer. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in here. Oh man, now I lost where I was at. Oh, here we are. And then you can select whatever you'd like and play now. And then it'll be able to show that content or play a loop. So I'm gonna go back and forth between these two. There's the national anthem. Play a different video. Hopefully this is okay to show up there.
100%.
Which is pretty neat. And then you can go back and play your ads. So this is part of the production suite. So you automatically get 2 iPads, right, when you rent the system or if you lease it. Also, if you purchase with us, iPads are included, correct?
That's correct.
And then what else can we do here as far as running a game, starting a game, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so what's really great about the system is, you know, as to your point, I mean, any graphics you want to do, video, animations, advertising, all those things is included. But if you turn around and you say, hey, we're going to pull up next to a soccer game or a baseball or softball game or something like that, the next thing you know, you transition it to the other iPad. You immediately go into scoring mode. You can pick your different templates and what have you. This is currently a football template. You see the score is currently 38-3 up top. You got the clock running down, the down and the distance. You can change the different layouts that you want as well. And then you can score the game along with advertising running along the bottom. And then the producer also has the ability to, you know, to transition that board however they want. Throughout a game, you go to a timeout, you go to halftime, you want to run some commercials. You can see there's another template that's a little different for whenever you want to go more full screen video. And you just keep transitioning throughout the game. What's nice is these trailers, we can put an outdoor ubiquity switch on it. We've had schools run these from all the way up to 100, 150 feet away from the board. So they can walk into a dugout, walk over to the sideline, sit down with their teammates or a team manager and run the game, not standing next to the trailer.
That's really cool. Okay, so I did have one more question for you. As far as like proximity to the field location, like is there a amount of distance that needs to be between the stands or the fans and the LED?
I mean, think about a regular scoreboard. I mean, they're building regular scoreboards as close to 6 feet, from the out of bounds line. So I would kind of keep the same rule of thumb. Wherever you're going to build a regular, scoreboard and how close you want it to the field, the trailer's fine. We scored a soccer game in Charlotte, North Carolina a couple weeks ago, and we were about 8 feet away from the corner flag. And so we raised the screen up to max height. We rotated it perfectly where everybody could see it from their stands. And then we ran the board in the bleachers.
Really cool. Well, thank you so much again for joining us today and for showing us this awesome trailer. If you guys have any questions pertaining to the trailer, you can contact Digital Scoreboards. And I don't know, maybe we can direct them to your website down in the comments.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much.
All right, thanks,
Great
Ashley.
having you.